Welcome back to your AEW Dynamite review with your boy Ryan. Jeff is MIA. But that's all right. We're going to go through here and get this out the way tonight. We're going to talk about what happened on Dynamite. Sorry. Look at text from Jeff real quick. So let's go through our show of Dynamite and just talk about what went down. So we opened the night with Wardlow taking on none other than Shawn Spears in the steel cage with MJF as a special guest referee. Now remember, Wardlow cannot put his hands on MJF, or he will not be able to get his match come Sunday. So with that in mind, there's nothing said that MJF couldn't lay his hands on Wardlow, which he did. He attacked Wardlow. He hit Wardlow. He didn't let him take the handcuffs off, so he had his handcuffs on there. Wardlow ended up ripping them off, showing his strength, which was pretty cool to see. I kind of figured that's what they do when they didn't let him take his handcuffs off, and he just kept getting pounded by Spears and MJF. And then he gets hit, and Wardlow hits him with, it wasn't the Powerbomb Symphony, I don't think. I think it was just a senton off the top. And MJF went and refused to count. Just refused to count anything. So there was no counting involved here. And, Wardlow clearly was mad about that. So what did he do? He just kept fighting. So then he tried to keep fighting. Shawn Spears or MJF distracts Wardlow gets saying, "Come on, hit me." Shawn Spears low blows him, picks him up, C4s him. Because he's going to go for the Powerbomb Symphony. That's when MJF hit Wardlow with the low blow. That's what it was. Hits Wardlow with the low blow. Sorry. Then he gets the C4 spike. MJF does a fast count. Wardlow still kicks out. Spears grabs a steel chair and he walks outside of the ring, grabs a steel chair, walks back into the ring because you can only win by pinfall submission in the middle of the ring. He goes towards Wardlow, but Wardlow ducks and Spears knocks out MJF. And obviously by accident, he's all distraught, like, "Oh my God, no, MJF." But what he didn't do was MJF did not get up from that. He basically just lay there the entire time. Wardlow put the Powerbomb Symphony on. A ref runs down to do the count. I want to say it was Remsburg who came out for the count. He takes the chair and powerbombs Shawn Spears onto it. 1, 2, 3, he wins. After the match, Wardlow tries to attack MJF, but security steps in. MJF crawls through security out the cage door. Wardlow beats the living hell out of every security guard with a punch here, punch there, throw here, throw there. Then power bombs one dude and throws him at the cage as his power bomb. And the dude literally hits the cage and just trickles all the way down the side between the cage and the ring. And it falls all the way through there. So that was great to see. They said he just threw him through the cage, but he just went right in between them and then slid all the way down the cage. It didn't fall off like on other programs. Wardlow then climbs to the top of the cage, stands there, calls him out, and calls out MJF, who's sitting there on the rampway, like basically pissing himself. Excuse me. Then this was the whole beginning. Really had not many commercials throughout this entire. Should be first I want to say 20 minutes or so because that match wasn't too long, which you really didn't expect it to be. We see the Jericho Appreciation Society entering the building, or jazz as we call them, and a guy in the back is wearing a Moxley t-shirt, and Jericho basically saying, "Oh, you're wearing that? You know, do people wear that?" They spit a fireball in this dude's face, and the guy goes down here and whining. He goes, "We don't like people who wear those," something like that, and they walk to the ring. Also, I forgot to mention, not only did they acknowledge it, my thoughts and prayers and condolences to the victims of the elementary school shooting in Texas yesterday, I guess it was. Yeah. So just wanted to also throw out there. AEW also put it out there as well. Forgot to mention that as well. So my thoughts and prayers go out to them. Then as soon as after they come back, they jump back to the ring where Toni Schiavone introduces CM Punk and Hangman Adam Page. And this is where things got interesting because they've been pitting Hangman as more of a villain in this whole thing. And they put CM Punk as like the good guy because basically they're both good guys right now, but they've been planning Hangman as the bad guy. And how it came out at the end, kind of the same thing. Punk basically says, I got no respect for you. I got respect for you. This isn't personal. This is business. Whereas Hangman basically says, I got no respect for you. I'm gonna get that pipe bomb. I'm gonna roll down to the ring. I'm gonna watch it blow up in your face. But then I thought I couldn't do that, and So then basically it comes down to because he referenced the pipe bomb, the fans, but kept going Punk, Punk, Punk. There were some Hangman cheers as well. So again, predictions coming this week. It's going to be really, really hard to predict, as I'll get to later when I talk about some other stuff. For this whole card, even though it's been thrown together, this is probably one of the hardest cards that I've had to predict for AEW in a long time. So so Paige, says all that stuff about the pipe bomb, all that, and then decides not going to do it. Punk wants him to shake his hand. Punk basically comes back at him saying, whatever, I don't know what your problem is, all this kind of stuff. He wants to shake his hand. I'm going to shake his hand. He pushes Hangman. Hangman punches him right in the face, takes him down, like just straight up knocks him out. And Punk is smiling while rubbing his jaw. He was just laughing, and he basically, as a comment put it, he fell into CM Punk's trap. And instead of raising anything, he just walked off, upset, angry, and just everything. Then we get the Jericho Appreciation Society coming out. Jericho stops his music and says, "No, you will not sing this music. You people don't deserve it." They're coming out to commentary because Moxley and Kingston are fighting Private Party in a tag match tonight. So they fight in a tag match. Private Party doesn't get all the way down to the ring. They get attacked by Moxley and Kingston. Moxley then attacks Quinn, and then goes after Cassidy. Then they're back in the ring finally. There really wasn't much offense. You got to see a little bit when we cut the picture-in-picture. But basically, Moxley on the outside of Quinn knocks Moxley on the outside of the ring with a leaping lariat. Both Quinn and Cassidy take out Moxley and Kingston simultaneously with dives to the ring because they're very good at their dives. They try to go for silly string. This is when Moxley evades it, and Kingston drills Quinn with the elbows to the face with an elbow, and Moxley plants him with the paradigm shift. So it was Cassidy that Moxley had the muffler stretch, I want to say it was. And then Moxley was elbowing Quinn in the head, picks him up, paradigm shifts him, 1, 2, 3, they win. They're breathing after the match. They come down. Kingston automatically jumps out the ring because he knows they're going to come down and fight them Jericho Appreciation Society because everyone was out there. And John Moxley runs out. They all start brawling. They have the advantage. Finally, Santana Ortiz and Bryan Danielson come down to save them. But at the end, who's left standing? And Jericho snuck into the ring. He was standing tall. Danielson comes in to fight him after he was fighting. Oh my gosh, Jake Hager. But then in the middle of fighting Hager, he jumped in the ring, attacked Jericho. They showed before the match, they showed what happened to, as I talked about on my Rampage review, if you were listening, they showed what happened to Danielson and how his leg got caught. So they were pointing at that. Jericho attacks him, and then I think it was Daddy Magic kicks Danielson's leg because of what happened in the thing. Jericho attacks him. They roll out the ring. They leave basically on top and walk off. Danielson will be fighting on Rampage on Friday night, which will be live because of the pay-per-view. but he'll be fighting on Rampage to show that he is combat ready to go. After that, we get the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match here. This was the first or second, at least maybe three at most, on Dynamite. We got a DQ finish. No winner, and I'm going to get to it why. So we get FTR taking on Roppongi Vice for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. This was a phenomenal match as well. Roppongi Vice put on a great match with FTR. Obviously, FTR is having a phenomenal tag run right now. I expect them to be getting title shots at what I expect to be Forbidden Door. We will see if that actually happens. Oh, look who it is. Jeff in the car, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah, a man in a car. Kind of like Man in a Mask.
Yeah. Now it's just no sight Jeff in a dark screen. But Jeff is here, everybody. Welcome to the show, Jeff.
Thanks, brother.
As you can see, Jeff's in the car because he's just getting done work, which is why I knew he wasn't going to be here for this.
No.
So we're talking about the FTR Roppongi Vice match, which was, I want to say, the third ever DQ finish on a Dynamite.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very rare. All right,
it was
on dashboard cam.
Yep, that's fine. So, but it was a great match up until that point. They had at first they were going back and forth with and we were phrase that. There were great wilds between Dax and Trent. Trent had some great offense. Rocky had some great offense here. Trent and Rocky nailed Cash with the double suplex, and Trent goes for the cover, but Cash lifted his shoulders up. They hit strong zero. They would kick out of that. Then it was just back and forth roll-ups. It's like, oh my gosh, it's going to end in a surprise roll-up. Like, it was just going that route. They were hitting roll-ups. It ends up getting broken up. And who comes out? None other than the Invasion of New Japan Pro Wrestling. The two were, as they mentioned on commentary, Jeff Cobb, who was at one point
Chris Jericho's assassin.
Yes, Chris Jericho's assassin, who took out who tried to take out John Moxley, which didn't work back when that feud was going on.
Yeah,
and also
the great
Okan. And they were
Tony Khan.
No, not Tony Khan. And they're part of. Oh my God, what's the group they're a part of?
United something.
United Way? Is that what it is?
Nope, that is an organization.
Hey, whatever.
Also less fortunate.
They decided to destroy everybody. They put Trent Beretta through a table. They put Dax through a table. They hit Rocky Romero with Jeff Cobb's finisher, which, by the way, looks beautiful. I can't remember what it's called right now. I'm drawing a blank on it.
It actually looks like a finisher that will end you, in real life.
Yeah, it really does. And I can't remember what it was, but he hit him with a finisher, and then basically that was it. Cobb and Khan stand tall with holding the Ring of Honor belts because they want to go for them. So I'm assuming that's what we're going to get at the Forbidden Door. I was really thinking after this match we're going to end up somehow getting New Japan tag titles on the line, but it looks like we're possibly
getting... I feel like there's still going to be a shot because they were talking about it. So
they were talking about it a lot. Or they could be built up. So I thought we were going to start getting New Japan either next week or at the pay-per-view. It looks like they started it this week to build for the pay-per-view in another month from now. So they're getting ready for that. I'm excited. I know Jeff's excited. Not Jeff Cobb, although he also is excited.
Jeff Cobb could be excited, I'm assuming. Jeff's in general, we get excited.
Oh, yeah. All Jeffs do. So that'll be good. So they started that part. I'm assuming maybe Friday we'll see something as well. Then we go to
since it's a live Rampage this week, so
it'll be good because we're coming right. It's an early one too, so we'll see another quick review from me as well on that one right after the show. We cut to a backstage promo with Matt and Jeff, basically as they've been talking about the Young Bucks on BTE and even on Dynamite and Rampage, just about that Young Bucks are the clones, the crappier version, the cosplayers, they put it, of Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys.
The Hardys.
They took everything from them. They will beat them and all this stuff. So This is it's what we've been waiting for. I'm excited. Yeah. There are a ton of matches on this card. They really could have put this on next week in Los Angeles instead of having this match on the pay-per-view. But
True.
To each his own. I mean, I'm excited either way. But
yeah, you can give it to me either way, and I'm okay. That's what she said.
Yeah, they called them out because they want to cement their legacy in AEW, and they know they're on their lower ends, the older Hardys, the middle-aged Hardys, and they want to finish it off.
I think that's a new shirt, middle-aged and extreme.
Middle-aged and extreme.
I feel middle-aged and extreme.
I just feel middle-aged. I don't know about extreme. I feel old.
I mean, I think if you stay up past 10, you're pretty extreme. It's at this age.
At these age, I don't disagree.
So that's pretty cool.
So there was that. Then we get to the triple threat match with Swerve Strickland taking on Ricky Starks, taking on Jungle Boy. Whose house?
Love that match. Swerve's house.
That's right. And this was a phenomenal match. And it was Swerve's house tonight because he did win, which means he will not win the tag titles.
Yeah, that made me sad when I saw him win. I kind of thought that Jungle Boy was going to take another loss, and it was going to be from Ricky Starks. Because you just don't see Starks and Hobbs winning the title. But I'd be okay if they would have strapped some gold to.
I talked about it. Away. I talked about when I first got on the air, Jeff. I think this is probably the hardest pay-per-view that we've ever had to predict. I think.
Yeah, I've been looking at just everything has such a 50-50 to it. It's not a guarantee.
Yeah, nothing's guaranteed. I mean, even if they are, they really aren't. And as we'll talk about a little bit later, my picks may or may not have fallen through for the Owen Hart tournament, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So
yeah, it was weird.
I mean, things have changed, and I'm excited for the fact that I don't know who's going to win. So this may be where I have to hand Jeff my title, unfortunately. But I don't plan on doing that, which it's in.
I'm getting my title back, bro. Because
I'm going to try to make sure of that. But we had some great back and forth in this match. You had at the very beginning, Ricky Starks roll out. Jungle Boy and Swerve said, yeah, we're going to shake hands and do something. And obviously that didn't happen because Ricky Starks made them hit each other, kick each other, surprise roll up each other, back and forth. You had a great move with Swerve and Jungle Boy on the top rope, and Jungle Boy gets onto Swerve's shoulders and then jumps off of Swerve onto Ricky Stark's neck for a Hurricane Rana.
I thought you meant the Poison Rana that Jungle Boy went to do from the top rope.
That was
Swerve
also
landed on his goddamn feet.
So first we start off with the Hurricane Rana off of Swerve's neck onto Ricky Starks. Then, as Jeff talks about, they're in the corner again, but a different corner. Starks is on the outside, comes up to try and fight them both. They both put their hand in his face and push him off, which is hilarious, by the way. Then, as Jeff said, Jungle Boy goes for the Poison Rana, and he just flips out. And Jungle Boy straight up said, "What the F?" You could read his lips. There was
did you landed on your feet?
He was like, "What the F?"
Swerve.
And it was great. It was back and forth at the end there. Rochambeau was hit onto.
Yeah. I believe it was on Swerve, correct?
On Swerve, yeah, because that's right. Starks hit the Rochambeau on the Swerve. Jungle Boy comes in to apply the snare trap. Starks gets out of that, or no?
He gets the rope. It breaks. So they pull him back to the.
Yeah, and then Swerve breaks it up, and then holds and drills Jungle Boy with the super kick, and then hits Stark with the Swerve stomp for the 1-2-3. It was a craziness. After the match, Hobbs comes down, destroys everybody. Obviously minus Ricky Starks. Then Luchasaurus comes down, and by the way, no music played for any of this. All right, they both came down. No
just
music.
A giant lizard.
Luchasaurus grabs Hobbs by the throat, gets ready to choke him. He pulls his arm off of him. They look at each other, and then whose music hits? Keith Lee. Limitless Keith Lee. No other music hits but Keith Lee. Well, in that moment, everyone stops, freezes, and looks up at the ramp. Instead of fighting each other, they look up at the ramp. Okay. Hobbs attacks Luchasaurus.
Yes.
what's his face? Keith Lee throws Powerhouse out of the ring. Then he hits Luchasaurus with a quick one. They kind of like they zoom to the floor to then zoom back, and Luchasaurus is falling out the ring, so you can see it. But basically, that's what happened. They both meet at the top of the ramp, well, the entrance ramp, but at the side of the ring. Keith Lee looks at Ricky Starks, turns around, grabs the rope, and leaps over it into like a twisting leap over the top rope to land on top of Luchasaurus and Hobbs, and the fans go crazy, and it was nuts to see. It was.
He was just reminding you that he's also super freakishly athletic.
Yeah, he can do that. He will do that, and he did do that. Yeah. He gets back in the ring with Swerve. They celebrate in the ring. Starks is in awe. The Hobbs is holding his neck because he took a good brunt of that one.
Sure did.
And it was phenomenal and sad at the same time because obviously that means we're going to see Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks possibly win this one. Or Jungle Boy and Source hold on to it. They are now.
I don't know. I still feel like this has to be where you pull the trigger. And Christian Cage betrays them so that they lose the titles.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Again, we have a review show coming up where me and Jeff are going to go over this.
Yes,
so we're not going to
do whole predictions for this.
Spoil this. We have our prediction show coming up, but we're going to talk more in depth about all these matches. But yes, it's going to be a lot of these matches are tough to call. So after that, we jump to another promo video where Dan Lambert basically says, "Hey, you know what? I was already ahead of you. These guys and their lovey-dovey crap and whatever they're doing with the title, I got a custom-built belt made for you, Scorpio Sky."
Super excited for this, by the way. Like,
really,
that was like the theme for a while. Was everybody who, when you win a title, when you win a TNT championship, you create your own custom TNT championship.
Yep.
And then like the Sammy got the blinged out one, and then as soon as Scorpio got it,
that was
first time and the second time, it's still been the same black one, and then there was two of them, and then they broke it, and it was
you can tell because they didn't change the belt right away that something was going on. That's how I knew he was winning back.
Like usually like that's when you get it.
Cody had the same belt, like something was up.
It's going to have some kind of American top tier look to it.
Yeah, and it'll be with his face on it type of deal, they said.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what this belt looks like, and it's custom made, and we will see it on Friday Night Rampage. Better believe we will be here for that, everybody.
Yes,
then back at ringside, Toni Schiavone is on stage to introduce the Women's World Champion Thunder Rosa, where Thunder Rosa basically just comes out sideways with the hat on. You can't see her face. She goes, "Let me show you my face," and it has no face paint on for the first time.
Yeah, she wanted to show you La Mera's real face.
Yeah, like I think it's the first time I recall ever seeing her face. I mean, I've seen it before, obviously, in her vlogs, but the first time they've ever shown her face.
I've seen
like
it at the casino. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in her vlogs, she shows her face. Like, I'm pretty sure it's the first time she's ever shown her face.
Yeah, she's usually always half painted in all them. Yeah.
Yeah, half painted or full painted, but she'll be full painted come Sunday. Basically, Britt Baker, Serena Deeb. She's coming for you, Serena Deeb.
Coming for that Deebs.
And it's going to be very, very interesting. I'm excited for this match. Again, this is a match that Serena Deeb, I feel, can win.
Yeah.
I don't think she will. I think you're going to cut. If you cut Thunder Rosa's championship reign that short, I'd be quite surprised by that. But again, there have been a lot of things that have happened that I'm shocked about and surprised about.
Yeah.
Within AEW recently, so there is that possibility that could happen. And I don't say it's bad shock surprise. It's been really, really good shock surprise. I said this may have been the most thrown together pay-per-view we've had, but it is one of the most exciting pay-per-views we're about to have because you cannot predict any of the outcomes here.
Very true.
Then, if I remember correctly, we jump right into the doubleheader finale championship matches, Owen Hart Cup.
Did you speak about the Hangman Punk thing already?
Yeah, that was the second thing that happened after the Wardlow match.
Yeah.
So I think
I think it is a doubleheader at this point.
I think we were at the doubleheader. I'm just gonna double check real quick with my friends.
I do not have any notes because I have an odometer in front of me.
Well, yeah, yes, you're driving. Wardlow, Swerve. Oh, sorry, no. So then Red Velvet and Tony Schiavone in the back. That's what's happened, Jeff. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
we got lost there. So Red Velvet and Tony Schiavone were talking, and
Oh shit! It's the police.
You good?
I didn't do it, officer. Oh, never mind. It's the ambulance.
Oh, okay. All right, make sure you're good. So, sorry. Tony Schiavone and Ruby Soho were talking. Red Velvet comes out, I think it was, and so here's a book on Statlander and what's going to happen. All the things we found out and what we've injured her on. And she goes, I don't need this book. She goes, but I will take into consideration the damage that they've done to her knee. Basically saying, she barely beat her the last time she fought Chris Statlander.
Yes.
So she's going to make sure she may take this under consideration.
And she knows it's not the same Statlander. So
exactly. And then we get into the doubleheader where first we get Britt Baker, D.M.D, taking on Toni Storm, who I thought would have at least made to the finals, if not won it.
This was very silly to me, honestly. I didn't. The ending was wonky, and there's no reason to have Britt win this thing, to be honest with you.
Unless you're going
she's very high up and you love that shit, but
unless you're going for a Britt Cole, Owen Hart winners, I am
the Owen couple.
The Owen couple. I mean, we could say that could be the route they're going, honestly, and that's why I'm confused because I thought it was going to be Toni Storm taking on Ruby Soho. I predicted Toni Storm here, and she did not win this. Yes, there's obviously interference. Yes, Britt Baker cheated to win as she had done in her entire time here, but we are also getting the rematch of Ruby Soho taking on Britt Baker, so maybe they will be given to Ruby Soho, which I am okay with. I'm not upset about that either. I would like to have seen Ruby take it on Toni, but I'm not upset with seeing Britt Baker take it on Toni Storm or Ruby Soho for the Owen Hart Cup for Ruby to get her revenge, because a lot of these matches were that type of revenge type match. But again, I mean, they didn't give Britt Baker the loss here. They may not give her the loss. I mean, she signed that contract possibly to win this title.
Yeah.
So there is that possibility. So, I mean, again, we'll get into more depth and conversation about this come Friday or Saturday whenever we do our review show or our prediction show. But that is what happened. Toni Storm loses to Britt Baker by her holding the ropes.
And I didn't know Jamie Hayter was trying to knock her off the ropes or put her on the ropes.
She was trying to hold her down on the ropes.
I thought, again, this is where the Jamie Hayter would accidentally cost her the match, accidentally wink, wink. You know what I'm saying?
This one didn't look as bad as the other one. This one, she looked like she was trying to grab her and hold her down to help her with the leverage. That's what it looked like this time around.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So we'll see how that goes. And then another prediction that I got wrong as well is Samoa Joe taking on Kyle O'Reilly. I thought we were going to give the Elite, the Undisputed Elite, a championship a match against each other.
Cole match.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get the Canadian taking on Adam Cole, the Shawn Michaels taking on the Bret Hart, the Owen Hart type of deal. I really thought that's what we were getting.
Yeah.
And no, we're not. We are getting Samoa Joe taking on Adam Cole. Listen,
I'm okay with that.
This was a great match.
Right now, they're putting shit on Joe and just saying roll with it.
They are.
And I'm okay with that.
It was a great match. I really thought O'Reilly. I mean, I love O'Reilly. I love his submission specials. I really thought if you're gonna give it to somebody who's a Canadian because they've knocked everybody else out, that this would be the guy to give it to. Like Dax, they didn't let him advance far enough. So the next logical is Kyle O'Reilly. Like in my opinion.
Exactly.
So. If you give it to Cole, I mean, Cole loved Owen Hart growing up too. He's a Shawn Michaels kid in the fact that that's who's trained him in NXT, but he's talked about how much he loved Owen Hart and stuff like that, and Brett. So, I don't know. It's again, I'm not sure who's going to win this final, but we'll get to see those two take on each other. But again, this was a great match back and forth. You had hard kicks, you had knees, you had slaps, you had a hard hitting, well fought match. A cerebral assassin and Kyle O'Reilly attacking the arm, but Samoa Joe just a powerhouse, fighting back at every chance he got. There was, he had the arm bar on at one point, and Joe was able to get out of that. They went for the finish was do they still call it the Coquina Clutch in AEW?
It seems like they just call it like that. It should be the Coquina Clutch. I didn't hear Excalibur call that, but Yes,
but he
it is
basically put him in a
clutch.
sleeper. O'Reilly was able to hold the one arm down, the one injured one, but Samoa Joe's arm, he's just so big, he was still able to just use one arm and choke him to the point where O'Reilly couldn't hold on anymore. So when he finally locked his other hand on, he passed out within seconds. And again, he laid there perfect. It was sold well. It was done to the best they could have done it to. And for the first time ever, which I did not know, honestly, because they were both in NXT together, I thought. This will be the first time Adam Cole is taking on Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I mean, how they
Samoa Joe was an NXT champion, and Adam Cole was an NXT champion. I could have sworn they took on each other, but apparently not.
First time since Ring of Honor in 2015 or something, they said?
I think it's the first time ever they would be fighting each other. At least that's what I heard Excalibur say.
Oh, no, that was Cole, or that was O'Reilly and Joe was 2015 in Ring of Honor. Yeah, this is the first time him and Cole, yes, correct.
This is the first time Cole and Samoa Joe are going to fight each other. I'm excited for that match as well. But Dynamite was phenomenal. This was the Dynamite Go Home show. We still have Rampage on Friday night, but this is the Dynamite Go Home show leading to.
We have a whole last Rampage still, and then Double or Nothing.
Where if you got Fan Fest on Saturday, you get to see Adam Cole take on Christopher Daniels in a 2 out of 3 falls match. If you watch BT, you know what I'm talking about, as Jeff does. So we'll get to see that if you're at Fan Fest, which we are not. Sorry, AEW.
No, we are not in Vegas. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, so that was all of the show for tonight. I don't know if you have anything else to say about that, Jeff.
No, man, I think it was an overall really good go home show. Like you said, during our prediction show, we will talk much more about everything. Such an up in the air card, but it's going to be very, very, very exciting. Great Dynamite, and just in time, about to pull up in the home.
Well, there you go. Everybody, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. If you like what we're doing, we'll come back with more content on Friday for your AEW Rampage review, as well as our prediction show, either after that on Friday or Saturday, depending on when I can get a hold of Jeff. And then we have Sunday night Double or Nothing, where me and Jeff may be watching that live and possibly could be live streaming it for you guys.
Live and in living color.
But we will see you Friday night for our Rampage review.
Yes,
everybody.
Sir.
Peace.
Have a good evening.